Welcome to Monday Manna. Our scripture for the day is found in Proverbs chapter 28, verse 20. And it reads, "A faithful man will abound with blessings, but he that hastens to be rich will not go unpunished." Man, this scripture is powerful because the key to us walking in the abundant blessings is our faithfulness. So we have to make a decision in our heart that we're going to believe the Bible first and foremost. And the Bible is pretty clear that it is God's will for us to walk in the blessing. He provided that through Christ. And so we know that it's his will for us to walk in the blessing. But oftentimes what we forget is there has to be this element of responsibility and this element of faithfulness on our part in order to enjoy that blessing. And this scripture brings light or sheds light on that. It is important that we show ourselves faithful, because the faithful man, the faithful woman is the one that will walk in the abundance of the blessing. See, I can get a little blessing just because of who I am, just because we are God's children. We're going to walk in some level of blessing just because of that. But in order to walk in the higher levels of blessing, the abundance of blessing, we must show ourselves faithful. So I look at my life sometime and I think, wow, this is the reason why there are times when I'm not walking in the abundance of the blessing, because I have not proven myself faithful. And see, we look at faithfulness as being faithful unto God, and that is absolutely true, but faithfulness covers all areas of our lives. If I'm not being faithful with the current level of finances that I have, I can't expect to walk into an increased manner of finances. If I am splurging my money, if I'm not being responsible, if I'm not paying bills on time, if I am going into debt and I'm spending more than I have, that's not faithfulness. So I can't expect to walk in this level of blessing and abundance when I'm not even doing what I'm supposed to do with what God's given me. We forget the fact that God is a good steward. He's not going to give resources unto someone that's going to waste them or not be responsible with them. And so the scripture is clear that if I'm faithful, and only if I show myself faithful, can I walk in this increased amount of blessing. Wow, that's powerful. And so on the flip side of that, he says that he that hastens to be rich, in other words, he that has this get rich quick scheme mentality, will not go unpunished. Paul kind of makes mention of this when he was talking to Timothy about beware of the love of money. He says, because you will pierce yourselves through with many sorrows. Man, that desire to get it, and then when you don't get it, or even sometimes when you do get it, you see that it's not all that you thought it was going to be. And so people have their whole hope, all their faith, all their trust is wrapped up into finances, is wrapped up into money. That's a dead end. And the scripture says that it's the blessing of the Lord that makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. So if I am going and I'm finding myself falling off into sorrows, it's only because I've hastened to get rich. It's only because I have made an idol out of finances. There's a way to do things right and there's a way to do things wrong. And according to this scripture, the right way is to prove yourself faithful with what God has given you. And when you do that, you can walk in the abundance of blessings.